Yes, welcome back. This is the about page. It is not yet styled. So for us to style the about page, remember we have a style sheet here, style.css, which we can reference on every single page of our websites. So the index page already has the link, the style sheet here, reference on line 9. Below the title tag, inside the head tag. This CSS link, this reference site is a link tag used inside the head tag below the title tag of our document. So I'm going to repeat the same thing and go to my about page and type link. It's a lot of suggestion for you. So the first option here, I click it, so I have link. So for me to make sure that this style sheet in my file here is working for the about page, I'm going to go to my href, which is the reference of the link, which is a style. The name of the file is style.css. Style.css. Now we have this now set up. When I go to my browser, let's see if it's having any effects. So I will go to my browser. Now this is the about page. You can see the about page is having the footer and the header being styled already. Now I want to make this about page have the same styling as this here. To do that, I will just go back to my code. You know, in the index file, you have the header. And this header must be generic. It must be unique on every page of the website because it's repeating itself. And in my about page, I only have the header like this with no ID or class. Remember, in the index page, we have a div that has a class of navbar and a div that has ID of branding and a class of logo and class of nav items. But we do not have so in the header in the about page. That is why the styling will not work perfectly for this header tag. For it to work perfectly, just go to your index page and copy, please, copy the content of the header. You can see, look at the header here. Now copy the content of the header. I'm going to copy this and go to my about page and replace everything I have here. You can see this div. I'm going to replace it inside the header. I will just replace it with this. Now, what you have this, what you have here, what you have here, and what you have here, they are the same thing now. So when I check my browser now, the header page should have responded to my styling. Perfect. Look at it. And look at it here. Perfect. So it's similar to this. Perfect. The next thing to style now is the subscribe to our newsletter page. I will just come back here. Now remember, this subscribe to our newsletter page is color white. And here is color black. So I'm just going to change it to color white. And okay, I'm going to color white and work on this form here. So what I have here is, let me check the about page here. Look at the about page here. Say the same thing also, the same styling. So what do I need to do? I will go to my VS Code. I will remove this HR. Then look at the section here. Remember, this section also have HR below it. I'll remove it. So we have section. We have section here, and if you remember, in the home page, we have a div that has newsletter. And you see it, section that have newsletter. So I only have the ID of newsletter here. That's why my style sheet will just work perfectly for me. I will come to my about page. I just need to include an ID of newsletter here. Or I just copy everything here. But I don't need to copy. What I just need to do is to update this div here, ID of newsletter, and update it here also, div of newsletter. So I'll just come to my div and type ID equal to newsletter. If I do this, this ID will be affected by the ID that we have here. And remember, the H1, remember, the H1 that we have, the H2 that we have here, the color is white. Color is white. So to do this, I will just say, go to the newsletter and select H2. So I'll go to my style sheets and go to where I have the newsletter styling and just type hash newsletter, then H2 with the color of white. When I do this, H2 inside the newsletter would have changed to white. So I will go to my browser to confirm things myself. Perfect. This has turned to white. And we also have this border. Let me go to the home page and check. In the home page, we have the same content and this. The about page, same content and this. Now, we need to style the other parts of the about page. This place and this place. Remember, we have two articles. We have two articles. So I'm just going to come here and make sure that this first article here and this second article here are displayed flex so that they can be side by side. So I will go to my styling, the about page, where we are here. Okay. So I'm going to give this div an ID of the about section. ID of about section. About section. Now, in the about section now, we are having two children, 1 and 2. So I'm just going to give the about section display flex. So let's do that. I will go to my style sheet and create another comment that is about section styling. So this will make sure that my code is well detailed and informative to anyone trying to read my code. So I will do about section. What do I need to do? Display flex. When I go to my browser, you can see we have this already set up. But let's check back this particular page here. You can see the way it is. 1, 2. So next thing to do is to find a way of giving this thing a padding so that it's going to align with these 20 pixels that we have. So I will just go to my code again. Remember, oh, sorry, I'm in the about page. Remember, we have article, the first one, and the second article, second one. Now, when I give it a padding, this about a padding, I'm going to get the space inside it, in between the content. So if you look at the newsletter page, we gave it a padding of 20 pixels. So we have to be consistent. I will copy it and go to my about section and do padding over 20 pixels. So doing this, we would have adjusted the content, you can see. Then from here to 20 pixels, 20 at the top, 20 at the top, 20 at the bottom, 20 at the bottom. Now, I'm going to try to give this a particular width and this also a particular width. So by default, we know that the width from here to here is always 100%. But I want this content here to occupy, you can see, I want it to occupy 60% of this web page, and this should occupy 30% of this width here. And the remaining 10% will be used for the padding and the margin. What do I need to do? I'm going to give this about us a fixed width, and this is what we do, a fixed width, 60, 30. So I'm going to go to my VS Code, go to my about page, and open the first article. The first article is having, we have a plant name of about contents. About contents. And I'm going to give the second article a class name of let's say outside contents, because it's an outside bar, outside contents. So the first one is having about contents and a class name of aside contents. Now I will go to my CSS and go and target the about section. Then go and look for the dot about contents. It says go to the about section and look for any class that has dot about contents. So give it a width of 60%. Then also go to the about section, then find the dot aside contents. Now, if you check my about page again, you see, go to the about section and look for the about contents. Also go to the about section and look for the aside contents. So that is why I'm having. So I'm going to give it a width of 30%. And to make things clearer to you guys, I'm going to give it a background so you can see how wide it is. A background color of yellow, and this one a background color of Let me use aqua. So let's check these two lines of code in action. So I will just go to my browser. You can see I have 60% and 30%. So the remaining 10% here is what I have here. So I'm going to use specify content space between. So this space in between the two contents. So I will just go to my code. Then I have display flex here. We're just going to do justify content space between. Space between. So if I check back the browser, you can see I have this 20 pixels padding, bottom 20 pixels, top 20 pixels padding. It is similar to what we have here. Now, the next thing to do is that we have two paragraphs here, one here and one here. The second paragraph is having a background, and this is also having a background, the same background. So this one is to just give this paragraph here and this content here the same class name, so that I'm going to just use one styling for the both of them. So I will come to my browser as my code and to make amendments with the second paragraph. So the second paragraph, about page, second paragraph here, about section. So I'll give it a class name of page or about page. About page means about background. I don't want to use a name that's similar to my code. So about page is here. So anything I do for this about page will affect this article here too. So we can have multiple class name inside your class, inside your tag. You can have multiple class attributes. So this is a class that has aside contents. Also at the same time, it also has a class name of about pages. Whenever I go and look for the about page, I'm going to have a background color. So I'm just going to go back to my style sheets and go to the about section, then look for the dots about page, then give it the background color of let me just put red first, then I will come back and check it out. So I will go to my, you see, it's having a red and also a red. It has overwritten the yellow color that we gave it before, the aqua color. Now, to get the color I'm going to use, I'm going to use another variant of color in my color palettes. So remember, we have used this for the this here. So I'm going to come here and use this. I haven't used this. Okay, let me see. Purple, light sea green, light sea green. Okay, I'll use it here. I'll use it here. Let me use another color again. This color here. Yes, I like this color. So I copy this color, then go to my code. So the color here is ash F5B89. So I'll remove the background color of aqua here, the section, and I remove the color of yellow here. So this is just having the width and the about section. So I'm going to go to my browser and check it out. You can see I have this color updated, but the contents are too close to the content of this. So firstly, when you check it out, there's a padding around this document. There's a padding also around this document. So what I will first do here is to give this about page a border, these two a border, so you can see the difference between two of them. Then I add padding to the elements. So I will go to my charts. So under this width, give it a border just to show difference. Solid red. The same thing will be applicable to the 30% content. Then the about section and the about page, I will give it a padding of let's say 20 pixels. So to give space around the elements. Good. We have a border around the first article, and we have a border around the second article. Now, this about us is too close to the content here, and this about us is too close to this content here. So to separate this content here with the about us, I'm going to give it a margin bottom. Margin bottom. Then the about us also is too close to this red border. I will give it a padding. Padding also. Padding. So, and this one also we have a margin bottom. So let's do that. So I will go to my about contents that have 60%. I will give it a padding. Padding of 20 pixels. Then the assigned content also, the padding of 20 pixels. Then remember, about page, this H2 is too close to this paragraph. So I will just go to the about contents and look for the H2. So about contents, yeah. Okay, dot about contents, then goes to the H2, give it a margin bottom of 20 pixels. Now, margin bottom H2. So now, also in the about page also, we have H2 here too. You can just do aside contents and go to the H2. Or better still, you can say go to the about section and select all the H2. This will affect all the H2 in my about section. That's what I'm going to do instead of repeating myself twice. So I'm just going to come here and do hash about section. Then go and look for all the H2 inside the about section. Give it a margin top of 20, margin bottom of 20 pixels. This is better. So this code can be written up here. It can be written under the about section. Then we have about section H2, then this. Then we also have this. Then this. So when I check my browser again now, I should be saying it's been affected. You can see there's a margin bottom now between this content and a margin bottom between these contents. Now, we have another issue. This content is longer than this. So we can decide to give this a particular height. Then I can squeeze. Okay, let me just do it like this. So height to come down a little bit. That will be in the what we do section. So then one more thing we're going to do. If you check this first paragraph and this paragraph, they are too close. Do that and give this BG a margin top, so that it's going to have a top margin. So I will go to my code and go to where I can find the about BG here. Give it a margin top 20 pixels. And remember the outside content, I'll give it a height of 400 pixels. I don't know how it's going to be, but let's just check it out. So why did this one now increase? No, I don't want to. I don't want that. I don't want to budget this alone. So I'm going to go back again and see my mistake. No, I don't need that. It's affecting this also. So let me just go back to I have this. I'm just going to give it a padding or margin. Give this particular element a margin. Let's see what will happen when I give it a margin. Remember, this thing has been shifted downward. The reason for this is because we have a margin top. So to fix this error, we go back to our about page. See that we have the about page here and the about page here. What I'm just going to do is to wrap this content here in a div called about page. This here happens in a div called about page. So I'll just create a div, wrap it up here. Then this div is going to have the class name of about page. Anything I do now should be affecting this one alone. So if I go to my browser and check things out myself, everything is balanced back now. And what we do is now having this. And look at the padding here. So if I give this element that has this red color a margin, let's see what will happen. That is a margin left alone, or you can even do margin bottom too. I just want this element to be longer than this. So let's try two things. Either I use margin or we use height. So let's see. Let me give this red border height. So the red border here is having aside contents. So let me come again and give it the height and see if that will solve the problem here. 400 pixels. Let me check my browser again. Now it's affecting this also. It's affecting this also. Now, which I don't want so to happen. That means I'll be using padding to increase the sizes of these elements. So I'm just going back to my code I will comment it out for now. Then I'll give it a padding. Where is it? Okay. Okay. You have padding of 20 pixels. It's there already. 20 pixels, top, left, right, bottom. Let me increase it to 80 pixels. I'll be back and change it back to 20. Let me just see what I have here. No, it's not working as I wanted. So the best thing to do here is to return this to 20 pixels. Remove the border here, and check things out myself again. Yes, it seems it was the border that was making us to get confused. So we have this layout set up. So let me just zoom. This is it here. So in my own page, if I add more contents inside the paragraph that we have here, this thing should come down again. It's going to expand. So I will go to my about page. Then after this, the paragraph, I can just paste more content inside it. And paste more content inside it. You can see we have more content inside the what we do paragraph. So if I check it out again, you can see I have this awesome layout. But there's an issue. This footer is not sticking to the bottom of the page. This is another challenge, or another nightmare developer used to have by making sure that their footer sticks to the bottom of the page. So I'll be showing us how to do this shortly. So for now, the about page is being set up. This is the home page, nicely set up. This is the about page, nicely set up. Then the service page is the next thing to talk about. So the about page is fine. Now to make the service page also work the same way as the about page, you have to go to your code and link the service page with CSS also. So this is my service page. Okay. I will link it also with my CSS here. Link. Then style.css. We have this. When I check this in my browser, service page should have responded to the styling. You can see that's responded to the styling, but we do not have the same ID and class name inside it. So to do that, you replace what you have in the home page, what you have here, the ID and the class, it's also inside the service page. So I will go to my header in the service page, because we have the same contents rather. Where is it? Yeah, the same contents in the header here. I will just copy it, then go to my service page and replace the header with the HR with this. I think you are getting my point, because the header is generic, it's common throughout the web page. That was why I copied the header in the home page inside the service page. So by doing this, This nav bar, branding, logo, nav items, and nav will respond to the style sheets that we created here. Everything here.